presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
From Angel Stadium, the Freeway Series is driven by your Southern California Lexus dealers. The Freeway Series moves down the 5 freeway. We are at the Big A for the first of 2. The continuation of the Freeway Series, which currently sits at a game apiece. We welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and we mentioned that the Angels and the Dodgers have split the first 2 games. And let's forget a little bit about last night, because Clayton Kershaw was absolutely electric. I don't think any lineup could have touched him last night, even though he called his stuff average. But as far as the Angels' offense is concerned, I don't know about average. That's pretty good average.
Yeah.
The top of the order continues to produce, even though last night was the exception.
Yeah, Victor, obviously against Kershaw, everyone's going to have a tough at-bat, but they've been very good. It's really, for a long stretch of time, that top 3 in the order. And what they've been able to do is that quiet approach using the entire field. You're talking about fastballs in the inner half, fastball, break a ball away. They use the middle field going the other way. What it allows you to do as a club, especially as a hitter leading off, you're setting the tone, and Escobar has been doing that. And Cole Calhoun, since moving that number 2 spot, has been very good himself. Batting average at .364, hitting in that number 2 spot, getting a lot more fastballs, getting pitches down in the zone, and he's driving the ball in. And of course, then you got Mike Trout. You got Escobar getting on, you got Calhoun setting the table also, but Mike Trout has been excellent of late himself. His hands have been super quick through the zone and driving the ball, with batting average at .354 for Trout in his last 25 games, 23 RBI. Mentioned Cole Calhoun, 11 runs scored, 11 runs driven in his last 16. And you got Escobar, last 18 games, .351. Table setter, scoring 10 runs. They need to do that there early tonight.
This Angels lineup is going to face Mike Bolsinger. Nobody has seen him, the only exception being Yunel Escobar. Nick Tropiano on the mound for the Angels. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. The Memorial Day sales event is going on now at your local Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This night for baseball here in the Southland. You see Nick Tropiano and the Angels sporting their home white uniforms taking the field. So we will take a look at Dave Roberts' starting lineup for the Dodgers with the victory last night. Now at 21-19, still tied for second in the National League West, a game and a half back. This is game number 41 for them. Chase Utley will lead things off. He's at second. Turner at third. Seager at shortstop. Howie Kendrick in that cleanup spot at first base. Adrian Gonzalez still dealing with that sore back. Jock Peterson's in center field. Trace Thompson is in left. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. Yasiel Puig is in the 8 hole. He's in right. And Carl Crawford serving as the DH tonight. He will bat 9th. Taking on Nick Tropiano, is making his 8th start of the season. 1-2 record and a 3.68 ERA.
Yeah, pretty solid numbers. Fastball's going to be 89-93. Curveball, changeup, slider, and also with a split finger fastball. My go-tos for Trop to be successful in this game is be careful in that first pitch. Hitters in 529 against. We saw what the Dodgers did last night on that first pitch, and keep the ball in the yard. That's what the Dodgers offense has been predicated around. The big fly, keep it in the yard, should be successful.
That's something that's kind of plagued Nick over the last couple of starts. 7 total home runs allowed on the season. We check out the defense behind Tropiano tonight. Rafael Ortega gets the start after being called up before the game yesterday. He's in left field. Mike Trout at center. Cole Calhoun in right. The infield with Yunel Escobar and Brendan Ryan on the left side. Johnny Giavitello and C.J. Cron on the right. And it's Carlos Perez behind the plate.
Matthew Ortega back up with the big club, has been very good in the outfield. Covers a ton of ground, but that outfield assist market, 4 of them, tied for 4th best in the AL considered. He hasn't been up here a whole lot. He charges the ball well, goes back on it, but a very accurate, strong throwing arm.
Mentioned Ortega getting the start today. He was called up before the game, but Nava going on the disabled list. The Angels, unfortunately, using the disabled list once again today as they place catcher Giovanni Soto on the disabled list. He's having right knee surgery to deal with a meniscus issue. He is scheduled to be out 4 to 6 weeks. It could be sooner, it could be later, just never know. But that MASH unit for the Angels continues to increase. The Angels called up Jet Bandy, 31st round pick in 2011, product of Thousand Oaks High School. Bandy will be the backup catcher. First one tonight, it is in there for a strike. Utley hitting .285 with a couple of home runs and 10 runs batted in. Multi-hit game last night as the Dodgers had a total of 13 hits on the evening, picking up the 5-1 victory. Off speed, and it's 0-2. Folks still settling in here. Some traffic out on the freeway that we can see. Late arriving crowd on a Wednesday. 68 degrees at first pitch.
Boy, what a beautiful night.
0-2 Utley. That's downstairs.
You remember that last start with Tropiano. Remember how many 0-2 counts he got to. He threw a lot of extra pitches. Look for him to try to finish off hitters quickly to get a chance to be in that 6th and 7th inning.
That last start for Nick was in Seattle on the 13th. No decision for him. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, worked 5 innings, but threw 104 pitches in those 5 innings. Career high for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And when you're in a back end of the rotation type of starter, you're trying to limit the amount of pitches that you're throwing in the game, so you can work deeper into games. Longest outing of the season. It's been 5 2/3. 2-2. Breaking pitch got him. Good pitch down and in. There's out number 1.
That very good breaking ball he has. He has a very good curveball, changeup, and split finger fastball. Starts at the belt, ends up below the knees. Perfect location.
Justin Turner starting third baseman. It's at the hot corner of last night's contest. 1 for 4 with a single. 238 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. Looks one out toward right field. Cole Calhoun drifting over. 2 down.
Roger Trop, you love those quick outs. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Routine fly ball out to right field. Especially with the youngsters, the way they're swinging the bat for the Dodgers. With Seager and Peterson and Thompson. These guys are all roommates, from what I understand also.
Two outs, the bases clear. Here's Corey Seager.
Shortstop homered last night, his 7th of the year. Ended up going 1 for 4. He's 21 RBIs. 3 home runs in the game. Jock Peterson had a multi-homer game. And this one's out toward right center. Sounded like he got jammed a little bit. Cole will put it away in a 1-2-3 inning for Nick Tropiano. Right at the bottom of the first, Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout coming up in the scoreless time. Tropiano. Let's check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Angels. 4th place in the American League West, 5.5 games back with a 17-22 mark. Escobar at third, Calhoun in right, Mike Trout at center, Albert Pujols back to the DH spot as we are back home. C.J. Cron gets a start at first, Johnny Givitello at second, Rafael Ortega in left, Carlos Perez behind the plate, Brendan Ryan batting ninth and playing shortstop. They are taking on the 28-year-old right-hander. He's a native of McKinney, Texas. That is a Dallas, Texas suburb. His name is Mike Bolsinger.
And he's thrown it well at times for the Dodgers, especially last season with 6-6, but a pretty solid ERA. But my go-tos against Bolsinger to be successful, lower part of the strike zone. He throws a lot of those cutters and sinkers down in his zone. Bring that up. It's second time through. Batting average first time through, difficult second time through. A little bit better chance. So look for patterns through this first time into your second time through against them.
Making his first start of the season for the Dodgers, actually named as the 5th starter in spring training. Got hurt the same day. A strained oblique. So he started the season on the disabled list, made a couple of rehab appearances, and here he is tonight, his first outing of the season. The 21 starts for the Dodgers last year, 6-6 with a 3.62 ERA. Originally in the Diamondbacks organization. Escobar lifts one down the right field line. Long run for Puig. Utley's over there, and it's Puig to have it go off his glove. And it may have been because of Utley continuing his path. A miscommunication there, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those plays, too, as an infield. You keep going back, you're waiting to be called off. It looks like Puig's trying to get it. The last second, you see him trying to call the ball, but right underneath his glove, as Utley cuts in front of him. But he's still waiting to see to be called off. Gets out of the way at the last second. Very difficult play for Puig as it hits off his wrist.
1 ball, 1 strike. Chase having to deal with a ribbon of sunshine cutting across second base and into shallow right at this time. That's upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yunel hitting .299, 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Multi-hit game, hitless last night, 0 for 4. Angels had a total of 4 hits in a multi-hit game the night before. That breaking ball's upstairs. And it's 3-1. Bolsinger is on a pitch count tonight, being his first start of the year. We're saying about 80 pitches to thereabouts. Dave Roberts, the manager, on the left. Kind of got the pitching coach on the right.
You can see not necessarily overpowering, though. A little cut action on the fastball.
If you see a lot of ground balls, that's more his game.
Yep.
His game a little different. 11 strikeouts last night, and no walks.
And his stuff was average.
Yeah. There's a walk to lead off the bottom of the first. Let's check out the Dodgers defensively tonight. Thompson is in left. Peterson at center. Puig in right. The infield with Turner, Seager, Utley, and Kendrick from third to first, and Grandal behind the plate.
Well, we've certainly seen Thompson swing the bat so far in this freeway series. Been very solid in the outfield. Also, 6th start in left field. He's played 9 games, started 9 in center, 4 in right field. We talked and have shown that throwing arm that Thompson has. A very good, strong, accurate throwing arm. Some Calhoun fans. Good view to watch Cole Calhoun at the plate.
First one low. Cole at 298 with 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Mentioned last night the Angels with 4 hits, 3 of which occurred in the second inning. Pujols, Giamatello, and Robinson with singles. Johnny had a multi-hit game and a single as well in the 4th. Kershaw ended up picking up his 6th victory of the season. This is a chopper towards second. Utley will go over to Seager. The relay back to first, a double play. So just like that, 2 outs and the bases clear for Trout.
And my Hyundai key for this game to be successful against Bolsinger and the Dodgers. A little no doubt, little Orange County band when Stefani underneath it all. Again, he's going to be lower part of the strike zone when he's successful, whether it's his curveball or fastball, changeup, even cutter downstairs. Look for underneath in that strike zone and try to drive the ball to the entire field, whether it's the middle or other way.
Trout looks at a strike. Trout at 308, 27 runs batted in. He drives one out to deep left field. That is gone. Ninth big fly of the season for Trout gives the Angels a 1-0 lead.
Well, there's no doubting that one that he got underneath it all in that swing to be able to create that lift for Mike Trout. That's your Victor, 9th home run, 28th RBI. How quick that swing was. Going inside, they've tried going inside. That drifted out over the plate. Brought his hands in, barreled the bat, and he hooks it right down in the Trout farm. And out quickly. He doesn't hit many home runs down there. When you think about it, a lot to left center, center, right center. Quick those hands were.
148th career home run. Albert at 568 career home runs. Has a 1-0 count. .113 miles per hour off the bat for Trout. 412 feet the distance. Breaking pitch drops in there, 1-2. Albert hitting .213 with 8 home runs this year, 26 runs batted in. 3 infielders on the left side against Pujols. Howie way off the line at first. Breaking pitch, left side. Seager has it, goes into a slide, gets up, low throw, and Kendrick can handle the long hop. Nice play by Howie for the 3rd out. The Angels strike first. Trout with his 9th of the season, giving the Angels the early lead.
This is a great swing, bringing those hands inside. Got the barrel of the bat and puts it right down into that left field corner. Home run number 9.
Good inning. Kendrick, Peterson, Thompson coming up for the Dodgers. Mike Trout, career home run number 148 to give the Angels the early lead as Howie takes inside. Tropiano with a 1-2-3 first inning. Second straight game for Howie, getting the start over at first. Adrian Gonzalez came out of Monday's contest in the 5th inning. A sore lower back, still out. There's Adrian. Howie last night 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. Line back up the middle. Giavotella knocks it down. Fortunately for Tropiano, he just did get out of the way. That thing was headed right for him.
Yeah, that was hit very well by Howie. And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Jock Peterson coming to the plate for the Dodgers. Put up some good numbers in his rookie season. Home runs before the All-Star break ever. Most ever by NL rookies. Albert Pujols at the top with 21, along with Dave Kingman. Peterson with 20. Frank Robinson, 20. And Mike Piazza. Pretty good names there. All 4 of those guys, all 4 at least 400 or more home runs. Yeah, I got into Dave Kingman's book, by the way.
Yeah.
Grand Slam, too. I got that out of the way my rookie year. I didn't want to be like Jim Palmer, never give up a Grand Slam.
Yeah. That's boring.
Yeah.
Multi-homer game last night for him. 8 on the season, 19 RBIs, the average of 250. Lifted out to left. Ortega comes in a couple of steps. 2 down.
Left fielder, number 21, Trace Thompson.
Trace Thompson, the left fielder, hitting .307, 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. On board 3 times. Had a nice series so far. Got the start in right field Monday night, left field last night, as well as tonight. Touchdown and away.
Boy, for a youngster, so comfortable in the batter's box, tracking the baseball. Been very good on all speed pitches, whether changeup or breaking balls.
Two balls, no strikes. The pride of Santa Margarita High School. Not too far away. Rancho Santa Margarita. Second round pick by the White Sox.
Very good baseball program.
Yeah. Fell short this year. It happens.
The other Eagles are doing well, though.
Yeah.
The Chaminade Eagles.
Ground ball to third. Escobar has it. And did he apply the tag? He did.
It's a very dangerous play for both Crone and for Thompson.
That's a heck of a job by C.J. Crow in a 1-2-3 inning. 6 up, 6 down for Nick Tropiano.
And the low throw up the line, able to catch it and apply the tag on the foot. Fortunate enough for Thompson, he was able to maintain balance himself.
Second inning, every game matters. Host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at the Big A. Suite Rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites for more information. C.J. Cron, Johnny Giavotella, and Rafael Ortega here in the second inning. 14 pitches thrown by Bolsinger in the first, a walk and a home run. A double play ball and a ground down off the bat of Albert Pujols. Cron relegated to pinch hitting duties the first two games at Dodger Stadium, with Albert getting the start at first. 254, has 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Did not get into the game last night. Pinch hit in the 6th inning Monday. This one's hit to left, a base hit. Bryce Thompson tries to knock it down, does so as it goes into a slide. Recovers nicely and holds Cron to a single to lead off the second.
Yeah, so tell you how athletic Bryce Thompson is, able to cut that one off in the corner, quickly turns around to fire that one in to prevent C.J. Cron from getting a double. Hanging breaking ball, stayed back on it well, tries to hook it down the line to get an extra base hit. But he knocks it down and keeps it on his body and quickly gets it in. Trayce Thompson, good athlete out there in left field, has played all 3 outfield positions very well.
Giavotella hitting .258, couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. There's 5 doubles. Mentioned the 2-hit game yesterday. Double the night before and also had a sac fly. Cron takes off. The hit and run is on a ground ball towards short. Seager's only plays to first. 1 down and a man in scoring position now for the Angels.
I like what Mike Scioscia's doing early in this game. You got to be aggressive, especially against a guy that's going to be more of a pitch to contact guy, especially lower part of the strike zone. The perfect combination for a hit and run to be put on. And Giavotella's been hitting the ball on the line and on the ground much better of late, not trying to pop things up. It's a high five and some handshakes going into the dugout. Job well done as far as putting it on in play and on the ground.
Ortega, .294 average. 4 runs batted in. Came up with Nava, went on DL the first time with the knee injury. Did a nice job for the Angels. Mentioned those 4 outfield assists. Scioscia was using him in the right around the number 2 spot toward the end of his stay with the Angels. Went down to AAA, struggled a bit, but now back up in the big leagues. Nava back on the DL for the second time, this time for a strained groin. That was prior to yesterday's game. 2 balls and no strikes. Thompson very shallow in left field. Peterson at normal depth and almost straight up at center. Same for Puig in right.
Some pretty solid outfield arms for the Dodgers. Again, it's going to be important to get that good secondary lead and get a good jump for C.J. Cron if Ortega gets a base hit into the outfield. Ron Renicky looking on just to give him a verbal shout out if there's anybody behind him in case a pickoff will be put on.
Left it foul and out of play. Chased a pitch, maybe a little bit up in the strike zone. 2-1. Cron a big lead at second. This is line to left, a base hit. CJ will only be able to advance to third base where Thompson was playing. No chance of trying to score. So Ortega picks up a knock. Runners at the corners and Carlos Perez coming up.
It's been so impressive up at the big league level, Ortega. Just going with the pitch, not trying to pull it. Again, get a fastball up. That's what you're trying to do against Bolsinger, and he just stayed back on that well. That's his approach all the way through that swing to hit the ball on that outer part of the plate to left field. Well done. Quick conversation with Bolsinger, with Turner, Seager, as far as what the Angels may do. We've seen Mike Scioscia put that safety squeeze on recently, especially with Carlos Perez.
Off the plate, Carlos has struggled offensively. 176 average, 4 doubles, 4 runs batted in. We'll see how Mike Scioscia parcels out the playing time behind the plate, with Soto being placed on the DL prior to the game today, and Jet Bandy called up. Bandy all of 2 games in the big leagues, and that was last year. 2 balls and no strikes. Carlos on Monday on board 3 times with a double, a walk, and a single. Also picked up a stolen base. Time called by Carlos. Cronenworth at third. Ortega at first. 1 out here in the second. Mike Trout with a home run in the first. 9th of the season. 148th of his career. Ortega takes off. Carlos is swinging and a miss. No throw. It's a stolen base for Rafael.
Good speed for Ortega. Good decision to go on that one, too. Also, if you eliminate a ground ball double play, something we've seen a lot from the Angels, especially in these spots. I think that was more of a swing for protection. That was definitely not a hit and run. A lot of times you're asked to do that, especially on that count. You're ahead of the count 2-0. Just make a swing to distract the catcher enough to allow Ortega to steal the base.
Infield back for the Dodgers with 1 out. 2-1 pitch to Carlos. Pulls off of it, evens a count at 2-2.
Ortega now with 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Talk about that good speed he brings to the team.
Brendan Ryan's on deck.
Well, now if you're Carlos, even a ground ball to the middle infield is going to score a run. You have to try to make contact here.
Chases the pitch off the plate. 2 down.
This slider not really even close to the plate to start with. Off the outside corners, trying to make contact, but helped him out by chasing that pitch. Anytime you see a hitter moving that back leg as much as Carlos did, it's going to be difficult to make contact.
There's Brendan Ryan. 0 for 7 so far with the Angels. A couple of men on in scoring position still. Ryan, the starting shortstop tonight, batting 9th. Check, swing, didn't matter. It's a strike on the corner. Ed Hickok's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Mike Estabrook at first base. Jordan Baker at second. Greg Gibson, the crew chief, over at third. Same umpiring crew we had at Dodger Stadium. A lot of breaking balls this inning by Bolsinger.
We'll look back at his numbers last year as far as pitch percentage. 46% of his pitches were fastballs, so even 54% off speed. He's thrown quite a few early in the game.
15th round pick by the Diamondbacks once upon a time out of the University of Arkansas. Traded to the Dodgers for cash prior to last season. Fastball missing off the plate. 2-1.
For cash?
Cash money.
Is that Dave Cash?
No, just cash money.
Cash money.
Making it rain. Three balls and a strike. Leadoff man Yunel Escobar on deck.
Brendan Ryan right now, you got to look for one zone right now. Otherwise, don't help him out by chasing a pitch out of the strike zone. Make him throw back-to-back strikes if he has to.
Three-one. Breaking ball for a strike, full count.
Well, you got to believe and have a lot of confidence in your break a ball. 3-1 pitch to number 9 hitter with Yunel Escobar coming up next. You throw a break a ball, you end up throwing it for a strike.
Now the payoff. That is pulled foul. Got another off-speed pitch up. Cron led off the inning with a single. Moved to second on the ground out by Giavitello. Ortega with a base hit and a stolen base. 2 outs and a full count. Bolsinger now 33 pitches. Mentioned he's on a pitch count tonight. First start this year. Breaking pitch popped up. Turner, the third baseman, underneath it. Calling for it. And we will head to the third inning with the Angels up 1-0. Dodgers sending up the bottom third of their order. Every fan matters when the Angels take on the Orioles coming up on Friday. That's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a commemorative trout wall catch figurine courtesy of Cox Communications while supplies last. Visit angels.com/promotions to get your tickets.
Well, he took away a home run there, but he hit a home run. Making the first.
Just the 18th pitch that Nick Tropiano has delivered tonight. Facing Yasmani Grandal, the catcher, 210, 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Ellis was behind the plate last night. This was lifted out to left.
Well, think about Tropiano. You think when you watch him pitch, you'd be getting a lot of ground ball outs, and he does have 2 so far, but he's more of a fly ball strikeout type pitcher, especially because he gets a lot of swing and misses with his breaking ball.
Yasiel Puig introduced. Puig likes to swing early in the count. He's hitting .232, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. He's batting in the number 8 spot tonight. First pitch swinging, lines one out to center. Trout moving back, will put it away for out number 2. You like those 1-pitch outs. And that'll bring up Carl Crawford. And speaking of 1-pitch outs for Nick Tropiano, once upon a time, Double-A, playing for Corpus Christi Hooks, Houston Astros organization. He recorded a strikeout via 1 pitch. How you say, Gooby?
How did he do that, Victor?
He delivered strike 1. The batter backed out of the batter's box, argued. Umpire told him to get back in the box. He refused. The umpire called strike 2.
Who was the umpire? Ken Kaiser, by the way?
Probably. And then the umpire called strike 3. Repeated it again.
Now I think that might be better than the triple play.
That helps your pitch count.
Oh yeah.
Crawford bouncing one back to the mound. Another 1-2-3 inning for Nick Tropiano. 9 up and 9 down. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Angels up 1-0.
Escobar going to lead off this 3rd inning. Take a look at the season that Escobar has had so far. First 11 games, seen the ball very well. .356 batting average. Then the next 9 is the .114, and then his last 18 games, .351 batting average for Escobar. He's a guy that will be aggressive on that first pitch, but also will work counts enough where he gets himself into a good fastball count. It also has been very good on breaking pitches this season.
Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout for the Angels here in the 3rd. 1-0 Angels. Trout with a home run in the 1st inning. Escobar worked a walk in the 1st. The only free pass issued by Bolsinger. He has 1 strikeout as well. 3 total hits allowed. Fastball on the corner.
See that fastball velocity, 88 miles an hour. He spots it well, but again, 2nd time through. Starting now with Escobar. Just trying to look for patterns from him. That's pretty decent swings the first 2 innings. Missed an opportunity last inning to score some more runs.
See where Grandal is set up. That's off the plate. 1-2.
He's working his way back to the on-deck circle. Now, that's very difficult for an umpire to call that a strike, even though it was a pretty good break to it. I mean, you see as an umpire, you see the entire plate and the catcher in the left-handed batter's box.
Once upon a time, the Atlanta Braves didn't have a problem getting those strikes called.
I was just going to say that.
Alleged, of course. That's a foul. Bounced into the glove of Grandal, so it's a foul ball. Count remains at 1-2.
Granted, they ended up with 3 Hall of Famers out of that staff, so maybe they all were strikes.
That would have been regardless of those guys.
Yeah. That's a pretty good staff, don't you think, when you have 3 of the 5 in the Hall of Fame?
That was a factory there at one point. Steve Avery, the lefty. Tommy Green came up, right?
Kevin Millwood. Eventually a part of a no-hitter himself.
Yeah. Green threw one, didn't he?
Yes.
Philadelphia, right?
Yes.
2-2. Breaking pitch towards second base. Utley has it on 1 hop. 1 away. Brings up Cole, who grounded into a double play in the first inning. Well, we were talking about that 1-pitch strikeout for Nick Tropiano when he was at Double-A. The Chicago White Sox turned a triple play yet again tonight. It's their second of the year. They turned one against the Texas Rangers tonight. George Springer hit into a 5-4-3 triple play.
So if you're on the mound, what would you rather have? A triple play behind you or a 1-pitch strikeout?
No, 1-pitch strikeout.
Yeah, no question. Tropiano able to do that?
Now, if you're getting knocked around, you'll take the triple play.
Yeah.
This one pulled foul.
What does Ernie Harwell, the late great Ernie Harwell, say to that one? Remember, he said 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
That's a good one there.
Yeah.
3 outs with 1 pitch. That's living well.
No doubt. Thrice the pleasure. No balls, 2 strikes. Speaking of thrice, they have a new album out.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Might be able to use one of their songs at some point.
It's right in your wheelhouse.
Yes. Probably a little Orange County flavor with a little No Doubt today. Gwen Stefani.
Oh, 2 count on Calhoun. Trout on deck. Cole goes down swinging for out number 2. Second punch out for Bolsinger.
Mike Trout coming to the plate. Now it's time for Tools of the Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. His first at bat against Bolsinger. Going fastball in, drifts out over the plate, clears his hip. Great vision there where we can see how he's able to get the barrel of the bat because he's able to clear those hips, bring his hands inside, and then hits that ball 412 feet. Mike Trout, 9th home run of the season.
It is the 39th career first inning home run for Trout. That's the most in the big league since 2012. Jose Bautista, second with 31 first inning home runs during that time frame. Lays off the breaking ball. It's 0-2. Well, he certainly got a feel for that breaking pitch in the second inning with as many as he threw. And he's come out here in the third. He's been able to locate it.
I think when you're seeing with Grandal setting off the plate, not a lot of movement necessarily in his pitches. He doesn't want him to miss the middle part of the plate like he did last time against Trout.
Breaking pitch, and that is fouled off the right. That's a miss.
Yeah, exactly. He looked back and was thankful that ball was not hit a long way. That's a middle 78-mile-an-hour curveball.
This one hit towards short, and it's past Seager for a base hit. A two-out single for Trout. So multi-hit game for Mike, and it keeps the inning alive for Albert.
Trout looks really comfortable tonight. We talked about him in the opening as far as the top three in the order with Escobar and Cole Calhoun, but he looks incredibly comfortable tonight. Staying back, and that's a pretty good break ball. That's even off the plate and hits that hard by Seager for a base hit. I think you can see Trout maybe try to steal a base here now.
Albert, a ground out in the first. Broken bat, single into left. Trout will turn and head to third. Albert will stay at first base. So runners at the corners here in the third with two outs.
Trout is so quick when he cuts that corner on that base and easy to go in there to third. Albert breaks the bat but gets a base hit going through that hole. Shift on. Breaking ball, lower part of the strike zone off the end of the bat, but stay back on the well. Better leverage, though, you're noticing from Albert as he drives the ball. Didn't square that one up, but it's good to see that lower part of his body working well as Trout cruises into third. Very important, too, to be able to take that extra base because you're seeing Bolzinger throwing a lot of breaking balls, especially in the dirt.
Crone single to left, leading off the second. He's 1 for 1. Way outside. 5 hits tonight for the Angels so far through 2 2/3. Nick Tropiano so far has faced 9 Dodgers and he's retired all 9, has 1 strikeout. Two balls and no strikes. Just took enough off that pitch.
Boy, a lot of breaking balls. Whether it's a slider or curveball. Throws an occasional changeup, but not a lot of those.
Trout over at third and Albert over at first base. 2 outs.
One thing you can't try to do, you can't try to pull that pitch. One thing that C.J. Cron has done well of late is in these counts, especially behind in the count, well, now even at 2-2, that he's staying back a little bit longer and trying to hit the ball to the middle to right center field, not trying to pull the break ball. You can adjust if it's a hanger on the inside part.
Ground ball to short. Seager will go the short way. They force out Albert and the Angels for the second straight inning. Leave a couple of men on. We head to the 4th inning with the Angels up 1-0.
On Fox Sports West is driven by your Southern California Lexus dealers.
Beautiful night for baseball here in Southern California. Freeway Series tied up at a game apiece. The Angels leading this one by the score of 1-0 as we begin the fourth. Second time through the order now for Nick Tropiano. He has faced 9. He's retired all 9 on just 22 pitches. 12 have been strikes. Utley struck out to lead off the game. First one's in for a strike.
Boy, early on, he's averaging about 2.2 pitches per batter for Nick Tropiano. Well, he's had himself a very good career, 6-time All-Star.
Off speed, a bouncer over to second base. It's Johnny. Over to Crone, 1 out. In the distance you could hear, as you probably well know, and this series shifts here. A lot of blue throughout this ballpark. The Let's Go Dodger chant in the distance. Good crowds the first 2 games at Dodger Stadium. Two teams that currently, especially on the offensive side, very similar. Talked about that on Monday. Both have had their issues this year. Both have struggled at home. Turner takes downstairs. The Angels coming into play tonight, just 6-12 at the Big A. Dodgers with their win last night, 10-12.
The surprising thing is the Angels struggling in interleague play. It's 2-8 this year. Dodgers 4-3.
That goes all the way back to the last All-Star break. Which has never really been the case for Mike Scioscia teams. Always played well in interleague. 2-0 to Turner. Strike in at the knees, 2-1. Justin hit a fly ball to right field in the first. Good breaking ball.
Real good breaking ball there. In a fastball count. Starts, it looks like it's in the strike zone, but the bottom drops out and it's off the outside corner and down.
Full count. Corey Seager, the shortstop, on deck. It's the first 3-ball count for Tropiano. He stumbled, and I thought he hit maybe Turner, but it missed inside. And as he was delivering that pitch, he caught his cleat.
He's trying to drive towards the plate, and you see right there as he's making the follow-through, hits the cleat, hits the dirt before he's able to throw the baseball. Right here, stumbles and then tries to throw the baseball. See right here as he's trying to drive towards the plate, and then the heel and the cleat hits the dirt before he's able to follow through.
First base run of the game for the Dodgers, so Trop will work from the stretch for the first time.
Remember Rob Nen used to do that, where you have that foot go down and then be able to follow through, which is extremely difficult to do.
Just saw Rob today, by the way. He looks like he can still pitch. He says his back certainly doesn't feel like it, but looks good.
Yeah, very, very successful closer. Good stuff, too.
I had a chance to catch, it was the Marlins as the bullpen catcher in their inaugural season in '93. Brian Harvey was the closer. Trevor Hoffman was on that team. Trevor got traded. The Seager pulls to the right. Got traded for Sheffield. And then Rob Nunn came over. This one into the corner. Turner is going to be waved. No, he's going to be stopped. For a second there, they were going to wave him home. But they end up throwing up the stop sign. And Seager picks up his 11th double. And the Dodgers cooking here in the 4th inning. A walk and now a double.
And Seager on the changeup stays upstairs. We talked about that last night on an off-speed pitch, how well he stays back and lets his hands travel through the zone so well. He used the barrel of the bat and hooks it down the corner. Last second stops Turner. Is he now unable to score on that one? Look off the bat. I think it was a real good chance to score. Chris Woodward holds him up.
Here's Howie Kendrick, infield back. Howie a swing and a miss. Hit one sharply up the middle, but to Johnny Givattel in the second. He's 0 for 1. Chopper toward third. Turner's coming home. The throw comes to the plate, and Turner is out. 2 down. Nice play by Yunel Escobar. Turner was going on contact.
Yeah, and he's under control on the throw, which was important. Dave Roberts wants to make sure that potentially there was a path there, and it would certainly look like there was. Breaking ball, under control. The throw, the target set on the inside part of the play. He's able to apply the tag on Turner on the slide home. Now important, this is a great angle right here, guys. Good job on this one. He's trying to run inside that path on the grass. It would have been interesting if you would hit him. You could have called him interference there also. No
question about it. Ball could have hit him square in the back, and Mike Scioscia would have been out to argue.
And still some work to do here now.
First and third. Seager ended up at third base. Kendrick on the fielder's choice at first. 2 outs. Jock Peterson hit a fly ball to left field his first at bat.
Breaking ball just a little bit off the corner. Look at Tropiano wanted that pitch. Tropiano with 2 pickoffs this year. He's allowed 2 stolen bases, 2 attempts.
Time called, and that was Carlos Perez asking for it. Ed Hickox granted it, so Carlos going to go out real quick. Not a full overshift with Peterson at the plate. Brendan Ryan stays on the shortstop side of second base. He's got coverage if Howie Kendrick decides to try to take off, maybe get himself in a rundown, but doesn't seem likely. Seager with the double, standing at third base, moving over on that fielder's choice by Kendrick. Ground ball past Escobar, got the base hit, will tie the score at 1. Howie keeps on running, and Ortega, ill-advised throw to third, allows Peterson to go to second. Pretty good piece of hitting by Jock Peterson.
And the reason why he was able to do that, because it's an all-speed pitch. It was up in the strike zone, out over the plate. Generally known as a pole guy, but that's an off-speed pitch, change up away, went with the pitch. Very difficult to do so on a lower part of the strike zone. Again, you're just trying to keep that force out at second. You don't want to try to throw. You're not going to throw him out at third base. Keep that force out at second in play.
Still 2 outs, a 1-1 game. Trace Thompson, a ground out in the second. He's 0 for 1.
Dave Roberts explaining what to do as far as, I think that's more base running, what he wants Yasiel Puig to try if he's on the bases. Not necessarily looking for what to hit, what to do on the base path. Sure, he liked what he saw from Peterson to be able to go to second base on that one. It's Michael Thompson. Very good basketball player, his son Clay. Golden State winning tonight rather handily. Trace at the plate right now. Pretty good family. Good talented family. Great guy too, by the way, Michael.
Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty consistent when you think about it at the major league level as far as batting average.
Good breaking ball.
Tropiano's been pretty good as far as getting swing and misses on his breaking ball. As far as that whiff percentage on the breaking ball, 48.2%. Second highest among AL pitchers. Betances with the best. He throws a ton of sliders, even though he's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, Betances.
Lifted out towards shallow right field. Long run in for Cole, and not going to get there, but it goes foul.
Now very important for Tropiano to walk around the mound a little bit. You're going to see Escobar and Carlos Perez work their way towards that pitching mound. They give Cole Calhoun a breather. Had to go a long, long way for that pop-up.
Lays off the breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What could have been, especially the way this inning started. A ground out. And then on a 3-2 pitch, stumbling, hitting his cleat, walking. Justin Turner, the first base run of the game, and then Seager doubling. Fielder's choice and an RBI single since then. Thompson goes down, swinging, so Tropiano settles down and limits it to just 1 run. It's a 1-1 game as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Diamondbacks taking on the Cardinals in a game you can only see on FS1. Then on Fox, it's the return of Baseball Night in America, featuring 2 of the best teams in baseball as the Cubs take on the Giants. It's all Saturday on FS1 and Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Coming in today, the Giants have won 6 in a row. They're starting to pitch very, very well. They are a very dangerous team. The Cubs, well, they're the Cubs. They've been dealing. Well, they lost a couple in a row. 27-10 coming into the game tonight. Tropiano, real good pitch, especially against Trace Thompson, who hits the breaking ball very well. They get a swing and miss to avoid any more damage in that 4th inning.
And just 42 pitches through 4, so that's good for Nick. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed. Here in the bottom of the 4th, it's Giavatello, Ortega, and Perez. Bolsinger has 2 punch-outs with 1 walk. 5 hits allowed, and the Angels have left 2 men on in each of the last 2 innings. They've stranded 3 of those 4 in scoring position. Johnny takes a strike. He grounded out in the 2nd. That is line to right field. Puig moving over. He dives, can't get it. It goes off his body. Johnny is going to get the 2nd as Puig couldn't find the handle of it. It's a double for Giavatello, his 6th of the season.
Yeah, Johnny's always a guy that's going to be aggressive, but fortunately for him, Yasiel Puig wasn't able to field that one quickly, and he doesn't look real comfortable on that one as he made that dive towards the baseball. You can see how strong that throwing arm, even after bobbling it a couple times. I think we're going to see some. Dave Roberts going to run out there. Yasiel Puig does not look comfortable after that dive.
Okay, he was grabbing at that right shoulder.
Made a great effort after this baseball. He's played some fantastic defense. Talking to a number of Dodger players, he's been flawless out for the most part this year in the defensive side of his game. See that dive. The 1 hop knocks it down, keeps it in front. They're unable to field it cleanly, but still off balance. What a throw he throws into second base. Johnny Giavatello picks up a double, 6th double.
Yasiel got a couple of throws.
It looks like on the throw, he definitely doesn't look comfortable throwing the baseball.
Appears to be all right. Leadoff double for the Angels, and Rafael Ortega coming up.
Still not sure I would take a shot at scoring on a single right at him, though.
Trying to lull you to sleep here.
Exactly. I remember seeing Jesse Barfield doing that one time. It felt like he hurt his arm, and then all of a sudden he committed. He threw out 3 runners trying to score against us in Kansas City one game. You get to the point where you're just telling the third base coach, stop, stop.
Ortega bunt on the third base side. Turner will field it, off balance throw, and out at first is the call. Boy, it certainly looked like Ortega maybe got the foot there, at least from our vantage point.
Mike Scioscia's going to have him wait a second and look back.
Very close. It's a heck of a play by Turner to get that close and even get the call out at first.
A quick conversation between Dino Weeble and Steve Solis in the clubhouse. That's a pretty good bunt. And quick on the transfer to throw over. Wow, that's extremely close.
No argument from Scioscia.
See that long stride as the foot is about ready to hit the base. The ball is in the glove.
Yeah.
That's a good decision by Scioscia not to challenge that. Very good call at first base. Mike Easterbrook, good call. Again, they go by sound. First base. When you're on the base, the umpires just go by the sound of that throw, ball going in the glove, and the foot hitting the base.
Which is amazing considering what's going on in a ballpark on a play like that. That's a sacrifice. Infield in. There's Carlos Perez.
And that's an outstanding call.
Breaking ball for a strike. Carlos punched down in the 2nd.
Fourth inning here, I'm kind of surprised the infield in, really. 1-1 game.
Time called. Puig very shallow in right field. And Howie coming in to say something to Bolsinger. He's about to throw his 60th pitch. That's when we started the game. He's on a pitch count tonight, making his first big league start this year. They're coming off the disabled list. Charlie Culberson was sent down for the Dodgers to make room for him. Popped him up. Well, the struggles for Carlos Perez continue. Utley underneath this one. 2 outs.
Boy, a couple opportunities to drive in runs early in the game.
Halo's 1 for 5 now with men in scoring position tonight.
Well, remember last year Carlos was so good as far as letting his hands stay back, let the baseball get deeper in the strike zone, and line drive right up the middle to right center field. He's had a lot of lift out, front shoulder opening up.
Ryan pops it up. Howie Kendrick calling for it. The Angels waste another opportunity. 4 in the book, still tied at 1. Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Loves Promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new double chicken salads today.
Top of the 5th here at the Big A. It's a 1-1 tie. Dodgers setting up the bottom third of their order against Nick Tropiano.
Halos getting their 1 run in the first inning on Trout's 9th home run of the season. Dodgers tying it up in the 4th. RBI single by Jack Peterson. Big hack by Grandal. This one's fouled back. One ball, 1 strike. The Dodger catcher a fly ball to left to lead off the 3rd, so he's 0 for 1. Tropiano with 44 pitches, 25 of it strikes. Yes, he did. 1-2.
Good curveball from Tropiano. Big inning for Tropiano and the Angels after missing an opportunity to score some runs there.
Dodgers sent 6 men to the plate in that 4th inning, plating 1 run. Breaking ball called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Yasmani doesn't like it. 1 out, 3rd strikeout for Tropiano.
On the coaching staff for the Dodgers looking in at a replay of this pitch. Looked like Tropiano got the benefit of the doubt. That curveball off the outside corner though.
Come back into the mound.
Again swinging first pitch. See that a lot. I wonder if he's going to be able to stay in this game after that swing.
Two outs, nobody on for Crawford.
Breaking ball below the strike zone. Not able to keep both hands on the bat. Roller right back to the mound.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a lingering effect of the dive. I think that's just where he is at right now offensively. Trying to figure it out.
You can go ahead and figure it out on Friday then.
Well, there's no question. Crawford, the DH tonight.
Because you know he's going to.
One would think, kind of get in, find some comfort zone there where someone could talk to him and become a little bit more patient. I know that's not his game. This one shot to left. Ortega will play down the hop. Two out single for Crawford. Spins the lineup to the top with Utley coming up.
Second baseman, number 26, Chase Utley.
No stolen bases yet this year for Crawford, but this would be a time you would think he would try to steal.
Utley tonight 0 for 2. He struck out in the first, grounded out in the fourth. Shoots one toward the right field corner, and that is a fair ball. Bounds into the seats. It's a double for Utley. Crawford will be stopped at third. Utley picks up his 8th double of the season. And the Dodgers with 2 outs have runners at second and third, with Turner coming up.
Change up. Very similar to the change up that Seager hit for a double. Middle part of the plate. Hooks it down the line.
Turner, a fly ball to right and a walk. Takes a fastball for a strike. To right field. Cole back a couple steps, still moving back on it. Go ahead, little carry to it. It's the third out of the inning. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Angels. Still tied at 1. a 1-1 game. I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Mike Bolsinger, 61 pitches in his first start of the season. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 6 hits allowed. Facing Yunel Escobar. Breaking pitch, lined into center. Leadoff single for Escobar, his first hit of the night.
Well, we're talking about the top 3 in the order in the opening. Well, Escobar's been on twice now with a walk and a single. Mike Trout, a home run and a single. Looking for Cole Calhoun to join the party now.
Cole pops it up. Corey Seager, the shortstop, puts it away for the first out.
Mike Trout coming to the plate. This is what Mike has done so far. Looking back into that first inning. Brings those hands in, opens up that hip, and drives that fastball out to left field. His 9th home run this season. 412-foot shot to left field. Don't hit him too often right down there in the corner for Trout. But a big game so far, 2 for 2 with a single and that home run. Definitely worthy of a Carlos Cam replay. Let's do it again.
Dodgers start to get action going in their bullpen. We mentioned with Bolsinger on a pitch count. Right around 80 is what we were told. Lewis Coleman, first man up.
Bolsinger has gotten 4 pop-ups in the infield.
His last 3 outs have been pop-ups on the infield.
Boy, a lot of room too on the right side of the infield to shift on against Trout. See all this room over here, this side of the field for Trout. Even though he's driven the ball very well to left tonight, still a lot of room, especially if Bolsinger's going to stay away against him. Trout farm. Be surprised if he could do anything but a breaking ball here on the 2-0 count.
I believe that may have been a mistake. So Grandal was setting up outside.
We've seen Trout at that lower part of the strike zone a long way. Still remember that 3-2 changeup that Chris Sale threw to him with the bases loaded. Perfect pitch, at least Sale thought so.
2-1. Foul back off the mask. Evens the count up at 2-2. Dodgers with a run on 4 hits. They've left 4 men on base. The Angels 1 run, 7 hits. And stranded 5.
Trout Farm had some action early in the game. That first inning, that home run hit by Mike Trout.
Albert on deck.
It almost looked like a non-committed fastball. Didn't want to make a mistake with it. The setup now, the next pitch more likely will be a breaking ball.
Escobar leadoff single, standing at first. Yunel takes off. 3-2 is downstairs, ball 4. So 2 on with 1 out. Second walk of the night for Bolsinger. up Albert.
They're kind of got wondering if he's ready, and yeah, he got that ready call down. And Roberts.
That's going to be it for Bolsinger. It's 69 pitches on the night. Lewis Coleman, first man out of the pen, a pitching change, first of the evening. We are in the fifth. The Angels a couple of men on in a 1-1 game.
Fox Sports West is brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local Southern California Infinity retailer for a test drive today. And by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org.
Handles in a 1-1 tie here in the fifth. Have a couple of men on with one out. Mike Bolsinger, his first shot of the big leagues this year after being activated off the disabled list, went 69 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He's responsible for the 2 men on base. As Albert Pujols will face Lewis Coleman. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Coleman working in his second game of the series, 18th game of the season. 0-1 record in a 2.35 ERA.
Yeah, fastball is 87 to 92 range. Slider, there's a lot of sliders and a changeup.
Escobar second, Trout at first. Albert in his career against Lewis Coleman, 1 for 4. The one was a home run.
Albert needed 1 hit for 2,700 career hits. Want to get that one right now.
Slider down low.
Coleman, not real good numbers career-wise against the Eagles. 0-0, but an ERA 6.75, 13.50 here at the Big A.
30-year-old right-hander, Mississippi native, went to LSU. Royals 5th round pick in 2009. First season with the Dodgers. 2 balls, no strikes.
And my Hyundai key for this game talks about underneath it all. A lot of sliders going to be trying to go underneath that lower part of the strike zone. Albert trying to bring that pitch up and drive it.
Royals released Coleman back in February. Dodgers ended up picking him up, adding him to their staff. Done a nice job for him so far. 2-0. Slider away. 3 balls and no strikes. Crone is on deck.
And Albert's been very aggressive at 3-0 swinging, but he's been swinging at some of those 3-0 pitches out of the strike zone. Hey, Roberts looking on. That's not what he wanted to see. 3 sliders in a row well out of the strike zone, but Albert's has got to be patient here to get a pitch to drive.
Lays off. Albert thought that the home plate umpire Ed Hickox was going to ring it up. Mike Estabrook says he did not go. So they're loaded up for Crone.
3-0 slider. Well off the plate. See if Albert went. No chance.
Throwing a single and a fielder's choice. Escobar at third, Trout at second, Pujols at first. 1 out. Cron goes up swinging at the very first slider out of the strike zone.
It's the 5th slider in a row that Coleman has thrown, all 5 almost the exact same spot.
Halos tonight 1 for 6 with men in scoring position. CJ has made up his mind. He's going to swing as the leg goes up for Coleman.
If I'm Coleman, I'm throwing nothing but that slider for as long as it takes at this point. I mean, this is not even close.
It's never a strike. From release point, it's never a
You
strike.
can see the frustration right away as he's going through his swing path.
0-2. I'd be very surprised if he got a fastball. If it is, it's a fastball in off the plate.
Thrown .414 as far as hitting with runners in scoring position, which is 10th best in MLB, but he's got to get a pitch in the strike zone to do the damage.
Dahl sets up outside. That's down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see that he's thrown 8 pitches, all sliders, all well off the plate. I still think he's going to throw a slider again.
Coleman pitched Monday night. Total of 10 pitches, worked 1 inning, all zeros. Fastball ripped down the line. That is foul. Trying to sneak a fastball away and was up.
He tried to sneak that fastball, and he got CJ to go after the fastball. It was a borderline pitch. Now, especially with the 2-2 count, you still have options. I got to believe he's going to go slider again. Now it's up to CJ to read it well. If it's out of the strike zone, let it go. If it's in the zone, hit that long fly ball to get the job done.
2-2. Breaking pitch, chopper left side. Seegers gloves it. Nobody's at third, and goes an infield base hit. 2-1 Angels.
They did a nice job. He got that hanging slider. An infield base hit. And that batting average continues to rise with runners in scoring position. Talked about that being .414. Slider spins out over the plate. Really hits the top of the baseball, but finds the spot. Enough where there's no play. And Seager did a nice job of getting that baseball, prevent 2 runs from scoring, but no one at third base. That's the only play he's going to have to force out at third.
Turner breaking to his left. Base is still loaded. Johnny Giavotella up. He doubled to shallow right in the 4th. Hughes this one to the right side. Howie Kendrick bobbles it, drops it, and everybody is safe. That ball had a lot of English on it. Kendrick couldn't translate it. It's 3-1.
I like that one. There's been some interesting hits in this inning, especially last 2. Another slider out over the plate around belt high off the very end of the bat of Giavotella. So he's thinking, I got to make sure I prevent a double play from being turned. And that spin on the baseball, Howie unable to field that one. And another run scores, and the base is still loaded.
That's an error on Howie Kendrick. No RBI for Giavotella. Rafael Ortega at the plate, base is still loaded. For Howie, that's his 4th error. This one down toward left, not very deep. Seager going out. Thompson coming in. Dives, can't get it. Gets by Thompson. Pujols will score. Here comes C.J. Cron. The throw goes to third. Everyone is safe. 5-1 Angels.
Boy, some well-placed baseballs in this inning for the Angels. Boy, Thompson did everything he could to try to get to that baseball. But the nature boy coming into play once again, the flare into the outfield. You see where Thompson's playing off the end of the bat. And Seager's going out to try to get there. Thompson, full extension on the dive, cannot make the play. And Seager has to go retrieve that baseball, and a 2-run score on that one as it gets by Thompson and left.
That's a double for Ortega. 2 runs batted in. That's his first extra base hit as an Angel. That was 6 runs batted in on the season. Second and third, still 1 out. Here's Carlos Perez. This is death by paper cuts for the Dodgers. They'll throw to first, trying to pick off Giavitello. Unbelievable. Crone, a bouncer on the left side of the infield. Giavitello, a little squibber, and Ortega, the 60-degree sandwich to left.
That looked like Phil Mickelson on that one.
Oh, a little spin to him.
Yes.
Slider outside. The book, by the way, on the Bolsinger closed. He gets charged with 3 runs. Those 3 are going to be earned.
Now you got to add on here. You've gotten a lot of breaks in this inning. You got to add on and separate from this Dodger team. They could swing the bat. We've seen it enough already in the first 2 games as far as that power swing.
Carlos with a strikeout and a pop-up is 0 for 2. Fastball lifted out to right, not very deep. Puig backs up a little bit. Giavitello looks like he wants to tag. He's tagging, he's coming home. The throw from Puig offline. 6-1 Halos. Sac fly for Carlos Perez.
I'll tell you what, great coaching down at third base by Ron Renicky throughout this inning. You got to take some chances, get some good throwing arms. We saw that as he sent home C.J. Crone earlier in this inning, but right here he's telling him to tag up on it, even though he's got Puig with momentum coming in. That throw up the first base line, easy, allowing Giavitello to score. Wasn't comfortable earlier in this game with that dive in the outfield. Took that shot and rewarded by Ron Renicky, allowing Giavitello to score on that sac fly.
Brendan Ryan now up, breaking ball outside. Yet another slider from Coleman.
I think if you add all these hits this inning, it still doesn't go as far as Mike Trout's home run in the first.
No chance. Not even close. You still need a relay man to get to that home run distance. Ryan's 0 for 2. Shows bunt with 2 outs. Still looking for that first hit as an Angel. He's 0 for 9. He's popped out twice, once to Turner, once to Kendrick. Ortega, the base runner at third base. Brendan, the 9th man to bat here in the 5th. Two and one.
Well, we talked about Coleman throwing a lot of sliders. Well, he's throwing a lot of sliders in this inning.
17 total pitches, 9 balls, 8 strikes. Escobar started this inning off with a single. Came around to score. He's on deck. 2-1 pitch. Fastball, a strike. Lower part of the strike zone. Ryan didn't like it. 2-2. Breaking pitch, bounce foul.
Boy, Albert can do it all, can he? Saving Alfredo Griffin just in case he's got to get right back to dancing with the stars. We saw those moves he had last night.
Ryan chases and he goes down swinging. That'll do it for the Angels. A 5-run 5th inning, giving the Angels a 6-1 lead.
Oh, there's no doubt the Rally Cat in full effect here tonight, getting some breaks. The quickness of the Rally Cat and the scoring of runs with not a lot of distance on the swings.
1. Nick Tropiano back out of the bump. He's thrown 56 pitches, 33 have been strikes. And here the 6th, the Dodgers send up Seager, Kendrick, and Peterson. That's 3, 4, and 5 for the Dodgers. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed for Nick. Seager slices it foul and out of play. Seager 1 for 2, a fly ball right in the first inning, doubled into the right field corner and scored in the 4th. This one down the line, slicing toward the seats and out of play. Ortega will give it a look. No balls, 2 strikes. One, 2. Reaching for it. Solid outing so far for Tropiano. To keep it going. This one's out toward right center field. Crowd moving over. One down. Every moment matters during Patriotic Weekend presented by State Farm as the Angels take on the Astros Friday, May 27th. That's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a red, white, and blue barbecue apron courtesy of the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf while supplies last. Visit angels.com/promotions for more info.
Really looking forward to that one there.
Walked into the booth today. In the trash can, there were these barbecue covers. Grill covers.
Really?
So I was thinking maybe someone gave us some barbecues to go with the aprons.
Yeah, I was hoping.
No chance.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Now a 0 for 2. This one out to shallow right. Here comes Cole, and he'll make the running catch.
That was a good read off the bat, because off the bat it looked like it had a chance of falling into that outfield grass, but the Gold Glove winner from last season, 2015 Gold Glove winner, Cole Calhoun, runs that one down.
Tropiano now matching a season high as far as innings pitched, 5 2/3. He did that in his second start, April 17th at Minnesota. Peterson fouls it back.
A lot of these young hitters for the Dodgers are very, very aggressive on the first pitch. Mentioned that coming into the game. Tropiano, hitters hitting .529 with 4 home runs, 9 for 17 on first pitch swinging. He's done a nice job of pitching on the corners on that first pitch, knowing they're going to be aggressive.
1 ball, 1 strike. Peterson, an RBI single. He shot a single past Escobar in the 4th. At that point, tying the score up at 1.
Man known as Nitro trying to finish off the 6th inning for the first time this season.
20th big league game for him. Looking to finish 6 innings for just the 5th time. 1-2. Went into the upper deck and it ricochets down below.
Smile on that face.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dodger
Thumb
fan
up.
wearing the Kershaw jersey caught it and handed it right off. 1-2. Down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know what, when you see a baseball go in the stands and a young fan's able to get that baseball, that smile on their face, priceless.
Off the plate, full count.
Randall in the dugout thinking, hey, that's very similar to the pitch that I was called out looking in the fifth.
"3-2," and that is a pretty good pitch. It just doesn't get called. A 2-out walk. Second free pass issued by Tropiano to keep the inning going.
Look at our Fox track, see if this gets the lower part of the strike zone. It does, this touch it. The reason why you don't get it is because Carlos Perez setting up away, had to reach back. Although that's still, for me, a strike's a strike. 70 pitches thrown for Tropiano, very solid as far as pitch count. 20 of them in the fourth. Again, still work to do against a very hot hitter, Trace Thompson.
Thompson 0 for 2 tonight with a ground down and a strikeout. Ground ball foul. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good action on that two-seam fastball, running it in. Reason why you try to do that is you open up the outer part of the plate. Also, you still have an option of backing it right back in there.
Thompson looking off speed, maybe?
No question. We showed it earlier, Tropiano, as far as whiff percentage on a breaking ball, 48.2%. You have a hitter who's hitting the breaking ball very well, looking breaking ball. Instead, it was a fastball and barely got a piece of it.
Takes the breaking ball inside. Two balls, 2 strikes. Peterson over at first. Ground ball toward third, backhanded by Unell. He'll go the short way. They force out Peterson. That's 6 in the books for Nick Tropiano. Angels on top, 6-1. Stripling on the mound for the Dodgers. Jhoulys Chacin on the mound for the Angels, making his second start.
Stripling going for the Dodgers. Jhoulys has been very good in his career against the Dodgers. 9-7 career mark. That 9 wins against the Dodgers, most he's had against any one team. Solid ERA too, 3.74. Very good. His debut wearing the Angel uniform, 7 quality innings.
Through just 90 pitches in that start. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Angels up 6-1. Top of the order once again. Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout. Moves Coleman back out. He went 2/3 of an inning. Finished off the 5th inning. Gave up 3 runs on his own, 2 of which were earned. Escobar with a walk, a ground down, a single, and a run scored. Yes, he did. 1 ball, 1 strike. Action continuing in the Dodgers bullpen as well.
No action in the Angel bullpen. Tropiano throwing the ball very well. Twice has gone 6 2/3 innings in his career, looking for that 7th inning.
Liberatore was up, loosening in the 5th. Might just be a 1-batter thing, maybe. Calhoun on deck. One ball, 2 strikes on Yurnel Escobar. 9 hits for the Angels. Two balls and 2 strikes. Mike Bolsinger got the start for the Dodgers. Gave up 3 runs, all earned. On 7 hits in his 4 1/3. Two, and Escobar goes down swinging on the slider. 1 away. Here comes Dave Roberts.
And that slider right there for Coleman. He's thrown a lot of them. This is a real good one. It starts on the outside part of the plate, then breaks off the outside corner for a swing and miss against Escobar. Not easy to do. He's usually a contact guy.
With Cole coming up, Roberts goes to the bullpen. Liberatore coming in. 6-1 Angels. To you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Here at the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out, a pitching change for the Dodgers. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. 6-1 Angels, and obviously the Angels kind of nickel and diming the Dodgers in that 5th inning, but you got to take advantage of every opportunity.
And the one thing, Victor, we talked about the Angels done a good job as far as putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
They didn't exactly square up a lot of those hits in that inning, but they had some good swings throughout the game against Bolsinger. And again, we're patient enough against Coleman's slider to get this lead, and Tropiano has been outstanding so far tonight.
Adam Liberatore comes in with 1 out, bases clear to face Cole Calhoun. The first one was a little bit high. Liberatore, 29-year-old, 21st round pick by the Rays in 2010. He came over to the Dodgers in late November trade in 2014. With Joel Peralta for Greg Harris and Jose Dominguez. 14th game this year. And that is ripped to the alley in right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. It'll go to the wall. Cole strolling into second. Leadoff double as Puig launches it back toward the infield. 1 out double, I should say.
Boy, to start the game in their opening, we talked about the top 3 in the lineup. They've all contributed very well so far in this game with a double there from Cole Calhoun against the lefty. Stayed back, and that drives that one in the alley in right center field. A 7th double. Open base here now for the Dodgers. Do they go after Trout?
Trout's been on board 3 times with a home run, a single, and a walk. In there for a strike. Liberatore last year pitched in 39 games for the Dodgers. 14th this year, 10 innings. Now 8 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 4 walks, 2 of which were intentional. No balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty good slider. Throws around 20% sliders. Liberatore with a good one there. Lower part of the strike zone.
First time Trout has faced the left-hander. Cole over at second with a good lead.
This is a little bit high. Change the eye level.
Yeah.
By quite a bit.
Liberatore's a PA guy. Beaver Falls. No?
Guessing that's got to be Western Pennsylvania.
Anna was born in Bellflower, then at the high school in PA, and went to college in Tennessee.
Joe Namath was born there in Beaver Falls.
Beaver Falls?
Yes. Before going down to the University of Alabama. Bear Bryant.
Roll Tide.
Yes.
Pujols on deck. 1-2 to Trout. Down and in. Coleman 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 runs, 2 earned. Only 2 earned because of the error by Kendrick. That was in the 5th.
Well, what we've seen out of the Dodgers bullpen is 3-game set. Well, except for last night when Kershaw limited that bullpen use, slowing down the pace of the game. That average night for Kershaw.
Two. Trout pulls this one toward third, and Turner can't handle it. It's past him. It's a single for Trout. And the Angels have runners at the corners for Albert.
Designated hitter, number 5, Albert.
Turner unable to make that play. He tried to scoop out on the slide. We see that a lot from infielders now, going into slide position, able to knock it down and get up quickly to throw. But with Trout running, it's going to be a difficult play, even if you catch that if you're Turner. On base 4 times, 3 hits, home run, and a walk. 2 runs scored. Just 1 hit away. Another opportunity to get that career hit number 2,700.
4th game for Trout this year in which he's had 3 or more hits. He's had 1 4-hit game. One ball, no strikes. It's 2-0. Last night's game by far the shortest for the Angels this year, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Or 1 hour and 16 minutes longer than the 7th inning took Monday night. However you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Nice play by Kendrick coming off the back there.
The Dodgers hitters very aggressive. Weaver had quite a few quick outs.
Yeah.
Went 7 innings himself, Weave, yesterday. 3 earned runs. There's Weave. Still looking to find that consistent arm slot to be as effective as he wants to be. Very, very competitive.
Two-0. Albert fouls it back.
Sees the changeup just a little bit off the outside corner. Last 6 pitches he has seen before that changeup had been out of the strike zone against him.
That is line to right. There's a base hit and an RBI. Trout keeps on running. It's a 7-1 Angels lead. Career hit number 2,700 for Albert.
And congratulations, not only a 2,700th career hit, but what a perfect swing by Albert. And Albert knowing and loving the game of baseball, the history of the game of baseball, now 2,700 career hits. Stay back on this breaking ball, off-speed pitch away. We talked about it earlier when he got 8 base hits, stayed back on using that lower part of his body, was determined to hit the ball that way and did so.
1,725th run batted in for Pujols of his career. He's currently 22nd all time. Next up on the list, Honus Wagner, 1,732.
Wow, that's some names there.
Here's C.J. Cron. Cron lifts one out toward center field. Not very deep. Trout tagging. Should be deep enough. Peterson with the grab. He'll go to second. It's 8-1 Angels as C.J. Cron picks up his second RBI.
Those add-on runs so important. Cron getting the job done again. Trout scoring. Cron going, I'm glad you're at third. tagging up on that fly ball with Peterson's arm. High fives, some smiles. It's good to see that. When you think about it, the Angels with 8 runs today, they've really done a nice job as far as putting the ball in play. They've squared up some baseballs. Albert certainly was there. Trout in the first. Trout's hit the ball well all night, but just putting the ball in play.
Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes on Giavitello. Johnny now with a 7-game hitting streak with the double that he picked up in the 4th. Oh, 2. Did not go. Two runs in, 8-1. The bottom of the 6th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, just getting a chance to watch Albert Pujols play every day. Battling through some injuries, but still putting up some unbelievable numbers. 2,700 career hits. We talk about the home runs all the time, the RBI, the doubles. It's an amazing career for Albert Pujols.
Johnny goes down swinging, and that'll do it for the Angels. They add on to 2 runs. We'll head to the 7th inning with the Angels leading at 8-1. Top of the 7th here at the Big A. It is 8-1 Angels. Bottom 3rd of the order. Grandal, Puig, and Crawford coming up to face Nick Tropiano, who's worked 6 innings for the first time this year. Grandal looks at a strike. They were booing because the Kiss Cam did not have willing participants. Well, there was 1 willing participant. And when it's Kiss Cam, 1 doesn't quite work.
No.
So I'm told. Grandal, the catcher, 0 for 2. A fly ball to left and a strikeout.
That's a pretty good pitch. Lower part of the strike zone. I think that last time when Grandal was called out on a pitch a little bit off the outside corner. A little different this time.
3-1 now. This one looped towards center. There's a base hit to lead off the 7th inning.
It's one of those pitches you make, you tip your hat to the hitter. That's just a good piece of hitting because you threw that ball exactly where you wanted it.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. There's Yasiel Puig, 0 for 2. And he takes inside for ball 1. Puig, a fly ball to center and a little tapper back to the mound. That is a big rip, comes up empty, 1-1.
Unusual thing for first pitch that Puig did not swing at that one. He made sure he was loose after the next pitch.
Down and away. Puig lines with a left, the base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Dodgers here to start the 7th.
Ran that fastball in, and Puig did a nice job of bringing his hands inside to get the barrel of the bat and hit that one in the left field.
Designated hitter, #3, Colin Crawford.
Nagy on the phone. The Angels starting to move around in the bullpen. The Dodgers have left-hander J.P. Howell getting ready. First time tonight the Dodgers have had their first 2 reach. Crawford looks at a strike. Check swing.
Real close.
Did not go.
Certainly not an easy guy to double up, and Crawford rolling into 2 this year. Tropiano's got 1 ground ball double play turn behind him this season.
Ground ball right side, and nobody can get this one. Being stopped at third is Grandal. And I thought for sure that that was a ball that would stay on the infield. 3 straight singles for the Dodgers to start the 7th. Top of the order coming up. And Chase Utley is being pinch hit for here. Kike Hernandez will pinch hit for Utley. Utley finishes the game 1 for 3. Interesting, right?
Yeah, unless there's something wrong with Utley.
Right.
Did have a double his last at bat. He's still standing there at that point. Utley a career .330 batting average with the bases loaded.
Tampa Drozier getting ready.
Six innings at this point for Tropiano, with 7 hits allowed.
Slider missing down and away. Hernandez 203 average. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter. Grandal at third base. Puig at second. Crawford at first. 1-1.
Well, he dropped his elbow a little bit on the changeup and got Hernandez to expand and not make contact with it. It's a dangerous spot, though, a high changeup.
Ground ball foul. Count is at 1-2 now. Bedrosian ready to go in the bullpen.
Tropiano's been very good as far as whiff percentage on a breaking ball. He'd love to get that swing and miss right here.
Swing and a foul tip into the glove. 1 down.
And you see Utley over there in the dugout. Hernandez, a swing and miss. Huge out for Tropiano. Split finger fastball. You see that rotation of the baseball. Gets a swing and miss. Foul tip held on by Carlos Perez.
Turner with a couple of fly balls to right field and also a walk. Just missed low. 2 balls, no strikes. .95 pitches for Tropiano. Career high 104 in his last start. Trying to get through the 7th. 2-0. Turner pulls one toward third. Escobar goes to second for 1. Relay back to first. Got it in time for a double play. And that is a career high 7 innings of work for Nick Tropiano.
Oh, an excellent job of getting that ground ball. Nitro with an excellent 7 innings of pitching. 1 run allowed tonight for the Angels. the Dodgers 8-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Nick Tropiano, excellent 7 innings pitched. Reason why he was able to complete that 7th inning, ground ball with the bases loaded. Miguel Escobar, quick feed, perfect feed over Johnny Giavitello, who completes the 5-4-3 double play. Second double play turned for Tropiano this year, and that excitement as he finishes off 7 innings for the first time in his big league career.
20th big league game for him, 19th start. He's through 7 and more than likely done, I would imagine. We'll see how Mike Scioscia plays it out. Here in the bottom of the 7th with the Angels up 8-1. Babe Roberts goes to the bullpen and brings on J.P. Howell. One lefty replaces another. Howell pitching in his 14th game. 1-1 record, a 9 ERA. He's allowed 13 hits in 9 innings of work, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Bottom third of the order for the Halos, Ortega, Perez, and Ryan. Ortega's 2 for 2 tonight. Getting to start in left field. Single, a double, 2 runs batted in, a stolen base, and a sacrifice bunt.
I was asking Mike Scioscia that about Ortega the other day in Seattle, and he said at some point we have to get him back up here. He's done so many things for us offensively and defensively. A spark on the bases. Solid back here again tonight.
Pulled off the off speed, 1-2. A lot of off-speed stuff from J.P. Howell.
Turns over his fastball. Same thing with his changeup and breaking ball.
Full count. There's payoff. Take a taps and foul. Ground ball back to the mound. 1 down. Time for a game break. Let's go to Chicago. I mentioned that triple play. It's George Springer at the plate for the Astros.
A guy who runs well too, but right on the base in a quick turn. Little 5-4-3 triple play. Frazier started that one.
Carlos Perez 0 for 2. Sac fly for him in the 5th. Picked up his 5th run batted in. 1-1 game until the bottom of the 5th, and the Angels sent 9 men to the plate. Scored 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. Also picked up a couple of walks.
Thinking that White Sox game, they could have used maybe another triple play. They ended up losing to Houston 5-3.
Yeah. Texas lost earlier today, 8-1 to Oakland. And Seattle lost to the Orioles 5-2. Mark Trumbo homering in that one, his 12th of the year. Orioles will be in town beginning on Friday for a weekend series.
Coming into the game, 50 55 home runs, hit by Baltimore, which Tampa Bay tied with him at 55 as far as the American League lead in that category.
I know Tampa Bay had at least one tonight. One and two on Perez. Rays, by the way, defeating Toronto 6-3. Carlos goes down swinging. Round number two.
But Toronto's struggling. Lost 5 in a row now.
2 to Texas over the weekend. Went home and lost 3 to the Rays. Kansas City, the Red Sox split a doubleheader in Kansas City. They got rained down on Monday. Red Sox taking the nightcap 5-2. The Tigers defeated Minnesota 6-3. Read somewhere where I have to look it up. Tigers are like 5-0 or 6-0 against the Twins and 0-4 against the rest of the Central. I have to double check that. I thought I read that earlier today.
I was watching that game earlier between Minnesota and Detroit. Verlander picks up his 2,000th career strikeout. Albert Pujols in this game, 2,700 career hit.
One-two count on Ryan, who's 0 for 3 tonight, starting at shortstop. John with a 3-hit game, on board all 4 times. A dribbler, third base side, and it goes foul. Ryan went around, and the Angels go down in order. 7 in the books. It's an 8-1 Angels lead.
You're looking at Cam Bedrosian coming in to pitch this 8th inning after 7 solid innings. from Nick Tropiano. Hello there, I'm Patrick O'Neill. Stick around after this game for Angels Live. Of course, we'll be talking about this outing from Tropiano. I'll be joined by Tim Salmon and Jose Mota as well. Trop, as well as CJ Cron. Kingfish wants to touch on a great couple of at-bats, in particular that second one where he battled to get that clutch hit for the Angels. But still time to go in this one, so to take it home, let's send it back upstairs to Victor and Mark.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. Nick Tropiano, career-high 7 innings of work, 1 run allowed tonight. As Mike Scioscia hands the ball off to Cam Bedrosian as we begin the 8th here with an 8-1 lead. Bedrosian will face Seager, Kendrick, and Peterson here in the 8th for the Dodgers. That's 3, 4, and 5. 13th game for Cam, 1-0 record. A .90 ERA. Pitched in Monday's contest and threw a total of 15 pitches.
And 15 strikeouts in 10 innings pitched. Much better of late as far as commanding his breaking ball to set up that 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball. Tropiano looking to pick up his first win since April 11th, his first start. He's throwing the ball well. Very good tonight.
Oh, 2. Seager fouls it back. Dodgers shortstop 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the 4th inning.
It's a pretty good indication how quick Seager's hands are. That's a 96 mile-an-hour fastball, upper part of the strike zone, and he fouled that one straight back. I try to bounce that breaking ball now against him.
I think we're seeing the tip of the iceberg as far as the talent of Corey Seager. Ground ball over to Cron. Waves off Bedrosian. 1 away.
Time now for the T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball after that ground ball out. Good game tonight once again in Major League Baseball. Mentioned that earlier about Detroit win. Justin Verlander picked up the win and his 2000th career strikeout. Only Mickey Lolich in that category in Tiger history. Oakland all over Texas. Rich Hill has been very, very good. 5-1 with an ERA under 2. And Baltimore beat Seattle. Mark Trumbo, his 12th home run, which is tied for first in the American League with Chris Davis of Oakland.
Davis had a walk-off grand slam yesterday for the Oakland A's.
Chris Tillman picked up his 5th straight win for Baltimore.
Howie 0 for 3 in his second start at first base. Two down.
Center fielder, number 31, Jock Peterson.
2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Here's Jock Peterson. Looks like the Dodgers have Pedro Baez getting ready for the 8th. Throwing the occasional warm-up pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Peterson tonight 1 for 2, an RBI single in the 4th, walked in the 6th. 12-hit attack tonight for the Angels. Oh, 2. Cam's thrown 8 pitches so far, all 8 for strikes.
Just looking for that consistency in the strike zone, that arm slot, not overthrowing, keeping that front shoulder tucked in to be able to deliver the pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Great crowd tonight to sell out, 44,006. One, two. This one's out to the alley in left center field. That will split the outfielders. Ortega can't cut it off. Peterson stumbles rounding first. He'll easily get to second, though, with the double.
2-hit night and a walk, so on base 3 times.
Thought for a second maybe he was hurt, but it's just his ego taking a little bit of a blow.
High fastball, did a nice job of bringing his hands up and driving at the left center field, then stumbles.
Going all Hank Conger on us.
Yes, down goes Peterson. But quickly gets up and able to smile.
8th double. Tell you what, really good piece of hitting.
He's done that a couple times in this game. That ground ball down the third baseline. Also last year, making contact was an issue for him.
Trace Thompson at the plate, left fielder. Fastball for a strike. Thompson 0 for 3 so far tonight. The Angels in the bottom of the 8th inning will have the top of its order coming up. Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout. Looks like Baez will be the guy. J.P. Howell working a 1-2-3 7th with a couple of strikeouts. One. Side. 2 balls and a strike. Don't want a 2-0 or 2 out let down, I should say.
He'll keep that focus all the way through. Got ahead of the count against Peterson, but he did a nice job of bringing his hands up and getting that high fastball.
Chopper towards short. Brendan Ryan has it. 2 big hops. And he comes to an out. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order. 8-1 Angels. He's been on board all 4 times. Multi-hit games for him, for Pujols, Crone, and Rafael Ortega getting to start down in left field. Also with a couple of hits. Giavatelli extending his hitting streak to 7 games. And we're going to get ourselves a A pinch hitter for Yunel Escobar. Jeffrey Marte will pinch hit for Yunel. Ends up going 1 for 3. J.P. Howell is back out on the bump. Baez still throwing the occasional pitch in the bullpen. Can't imagine Dave Roberts makes a change in an 8-1 game in the 8th.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Shane Robinson's come out to the on-deck circle.
And Mike Scioscia given a chance for some other guys to get some at-bats, especially considering how many at-bats and games that Escobar and Calhoun have played.
Marte 2 for 5 with the Angels. Had to start Friday night for Yunel.
Couple doubles.
Yeah.
Boy, as a hitter against Howell, you just have to try to track the baseball. A lot of moving parts. Falls towards, basically almost towards the third baseman. After that third base side of the mound.
Sit off
the
speed
glove.
on him,
yeah,
right?
you have to.
There's another off-speed pitch.
See how much he falls. Not quite Mitch Williams as far as landing and planting, using the glove to keep balance.
It's a different world. Mitch
Yes.
Williams. Breaking pitch.
That was almost like
That
Mitch
was
Williams.
where the glove goes on the dirt.
See right through on the follow through, the glove down to maintain balance, a la Mitch Williams.
Once upon a time, Howell, a first-round pick, 31st overall in 2004 by Kansas City. And Marte goes down swinging for out number 1. Here comes Shane Robinson to pitch it for Calhoun.
Batting for full Calhoun, number 17, Shane Robinson.
Shane 3 for 12 as an Angel. Let go by Cleveland at the end of spring training. Angels picked him up. Takes a strike. Marte will take over at third base. Robinson will go out to right, I would imagine. Could always shift Ortega over there. Trout is on the on-deck circle. Dodgers in the 9th have the bottom third of their order coming up.
I'm sure for Dodger fans trying to figure out, and probably question me asking Dave Roberts, why'd you pinch hit for Chase Utley with the bases loaded, a .330 career hitter? Just wonder if Chase Utley was all right coming out of that game. Kike Hernandez came in to pinch hit for him.
Dodgers already playing a man down with Gonzalez dealing with the sore lower back. (3-1), and he walked him. Dave Roberts is coming out, and sure enough, he's going to go to the bullpen in an 8-1 game. A pitching change here in the 8th inning. Joe Baez taking over on the mound with the man at first base. 18th game, no record of 4.86 ERA. He pitched Monday and threw 29 pitches in his 1 inning of work. Takes over for J.P. Howe.
Baez
facing Mike Trout.
Good fastball, 95 to 99, slider changeup. Always had a good arm. Inconsistent though with the strike zone. Yeah, and earlier today did an interview with Vince Scully. It will be on our pregame show tomorrow with Mike Trout coming to play. He had an interesting comparison between somebody he really loved to watch playback early in his career as far as broadcasting games and Mike Trout. We'll talk about that. And what an interview, what a great guy he was to be able to talk to today, and forward to everyone get a chance to be able to hear that tomorrow.
Vin, of course, in his 67th and final season with the Dodgers. Tomorrow will be the last game he will broadcast here at the Big A. Mike Trout stepping in on board 4 times, 2 singles, a walk and a home run. Swinging first pitch, lines one to Turner, 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, as soon as he started to talk, it was like you're mesmerized. That voice he has, and the stories, unbelievable. And one of the nicest human beings you will ever meet. Just a great human being.
Always joking around when he comes here because it's a little bit easier for us to communicate during the game, just around the wall. And always generous with his time, not only with us, but with everyone that comes by and steps into the booth, takes pictures, signs autographs for him. Today, partaking in our little Snapchat fun.
Oh yeah.
before first pitch.
And his smile is priceless with that also. We're like going, there's Ben right there. And he's looking back at us and smiling, everything else. It is the best. And now let's take a look at the top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco in his 6th inning. Albert Pujols with a perfect swing going the other way, a line drive, picking up career hit number 2,700 for the machine, and still rolling. He is the 4th active player with at least 2,700 hits.
Two on. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Got to catch up to that 97. The others, as far as the active list with at least 2,700 hits, Alex Rodriguez, Ichiro, Adrian Beltre. Now Albert Pujols.
Robinson over at first, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 8-1 Angels here in the 8th. Albert fouls it back. conversation between Baez and Grandal. 8-1 Angels. Baez very deliberate on the mound. We saw that on Monday. So much so that when we went to break, Ben even leaned over and said, Baez warming up.
Yeah.
2-2. Full count. Robbins will take off on the pitch from first base. And he walked him.
First baseman, number 24.
So it'll bring up C.J. Cron. To the back of the mound. Got to clean the spikes off. And the Spike Master 2016. Gregorio Petit pinch running over at first base for Albert. Albert finishes the game going 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 walks, and a run scored, and also picked up an RBI.
What a special moment for Alberto to get that hit, a 2,700 career hit.
Cron 2 for 3, also with a couple of runs batted in.
Speaking of guys who hit a lot of home runs in his career, happy birthday to Reggie Jackson, Mr. October today. Turned 70.
One run, 8 hits, an error, 8 left on for the Dodgers tonight. 8 runs, 12 hits, 7 left on for the Angels. Oh, 2.
Reggie Jackson finished with 563 career home runs.
Oh, 2. Foul back.
Reggie Jackson hit his 500th career home run as an Angel against Bud Black. That's on September 17, 1984. Bud Black, who is here today, I'm sure he's really loving to see that one.
Especially if he's still here watching the game right now.
There's no doubt.
Catcher's interference, so Cron will take first. Robinson to third, and Petit to second.
Second baseman, number 12, Johnny.
That's an error on Grandal.
Yes. See, reaching out, touching the glove right away. Remember, Matsui was very good at that.
So fortunately, the inning continues for the Angels here in the 8th. And Johnny Giavitello get a chance here to drive in some more. Johnny 1 for 4 with a double. scored a run in the 5th. Off speed for a strike. Johnny extending his hitting streak to 7 with the double in the 4th. Time called. We wrap up the Freeway Series tomorrow night. That's up and in. Jolice Chassin on the mound for the Angels. Ross Stripling for the Dodgers.
Stripling had a no-hitter going late in the game early this season for the Dodgers.
1 ball, 1 strike. Dahl flashing the number of signs there for Baez. 1-2. Dave Roberts getting Baez some work here in the 8th. One-two pitch. Foul back.
By the way, Bud Black just texted me and thanked us for replaying that play.
A bomb.
Yes. I remember that so well. It was a 4-game set I think we had. And we're all thinking, one of us is going to, there's a good chance one of us is going to give up career number 500. And Bud Black said, well, why not be me? Why not get it out of the way right away? And we thanked him after that,
Were you sick that day? Was that your turn to pitch? And you were coughing?
I was saying, hey, great pitch, man. Good way to challenge him.
You did. You came right after him. 1-2. Johnny, a chopper to short. Shaker's got it. And the 8th is in the books. We will head to the 9th with the Angels up 8-1. Here's that shot of Ben on Snapchat earlier before the game. The Dodgers will send up the bottom third of its order to face A.J. Ochter. Takes over for Cam Bedrosian. Cam worked a scoreless 8th inning. A.J. pitched last night, 1 inning, gave up a run. on 3 hits, one of which was the home run to Jock Peterson. Jeffrey Marte stays in at third base. Rafael Ortega moves over to right as Shane Robinson takes over in left. Grandal 1 for 3. He had a single in the 7th. Good off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. Ground ball over to second. Givatella has it in the shift. One down. Angels looking for their first win at home since April 27th against Kansas City. That's when they finished off the sweep of the Royals. So they went on the road at that point, went 2-4 at Texas and Milwaukee. Came home, got swept by the Rays and the Cardinals before going to Seattle and sweeping them, and then taking game 1 against the Dodgers for a little 4-game winning streak.
Just a well-played game, really. All 3 phases defensively, obviously pitching, and the offense. The offense coming together during this recent stretch, averaging 6.4 runs per game, batting average of .313. Since that game against the Cardinals, the last game of the homestand.
Puig 1 for 3. He had a single in the 7th. Bouncer toward third. Marte's got it in foul territory. It's a full count. Nick Tropiano in line for his second win. Career high 7 innings tonight. 1 run on 7 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Payoff pitch, and he walked him.
Designated hitter, number 3, Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford, the DH tonight, 2 for 3. Will step up.
Get back to that heavy sinker. Get a ground ball right now if you're Octor.
That'll even the count up. Crone, of course, playing behind Puig over at first. That's fouled off. Watch out. And ricocheting off a seat back into a shallow left. One, 2. Ground ball, right side, Giavatello. He's only plays to first base, 2 outs. So it'll bring up Kike Hernandez with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Angels looking to pick up their 18th win of the season. They'll pick up a game in the standings. Down low. Once upon a time, 44,006 in the house. Sellout crowd tonight. Ground ball over to third. Marte's got it. Across the diamond. Light that baby up as the Angels take this one tonight by the final of 8-1.
This is a well-played game. Mike Trout got it rolling in the first inning. A solo shot. Ended up having 3 hits, a couple runs scored. Nick Tropiano was excellent on the mound. Tonight, Albert Pujols picks up career hit number 2,700. A well-played game. Offense rolling tonight. Had a tough one last night. Tough task going against Kershaw, but 8 runs on 12 hits. As the Angels take this first of his 2-game set here at Angel Stadium after splitting the first 2 at Dodger Stadium.
And also, Gooey, the fact that they came back out and just started fighting again. Another guy goes on a disabled list. Giovanni Soto being placed on DL before the game today. Having to have knee surgery. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. New guy comes up. Jeff Bandy's on the bench. Did not get into the game, but guys just continue to plug away. It's that type of season. Yeah. One guy goes down, somebody else steps up.
Resilient, and you can see it even in the clubhouse today during batting practice. They were just ready to go out there and fight tonight and see if they could pull this one off.
One of the heroes tonight, Johnny Giavatello, extended his hitting streak to 7 games. He's out on the field with Alex Curry.
Johnny, we talked before a game about this team's fight. With all the injuries this team has faced, what can a win like this do for you guys?
We just showed great resilience to this point. We lost a lot of guys due to injury, but we have a great team. We're very deep. We have a lot of confidence in what we could do.
Now, you guys took advantage of every opportunity in that 5th inning. Was it nice to finally see things go your way with runners in scoring position?
Yeah, we've been having great at-bats, getting guys on base. It was just a matter of getting them in, and tonight we did that.
And Nick Tropiano battled for you guys on the mound, got out of some big outs, especially in that 7th inning. Was that just a cap off to a perfect night?
Well, Trope's a bulldog out there. He's going to go out there and throw strikes, trust him stuff, and he gave us a shot to win, and that's what we did tonight.
Congratulations on the big win.
All right, thank you, Alex.
The Angels get it done tonight. Starting off the homestand with a big win, a final of 8-1. Stick around for Angels Live with Patrick O'Neill, Jose Mota, and Tim Salmon next.